It's not totally out of the ordinary for Sony to come out and make some weird announcements. This is probably one of the weirder announcements that I've seen them make, and it does make some gamers a little bit upset. Now for me, there's many reasons why I play on PlayStation consoles. For one thing, Sony does some fantastic games. The problem is, we've gotten to a point in the gaming world where anything that's exclusive is always looked at as bad. So if I said one of the reasons I like PlayStation is because of their exclusives, and their exclusives are actually exclusive to their platform, a lot of people would consider that maybe gatekeeping. I don't really consider it gatekeeping, as I look at it as a pro PlayStation move from Sony, and Sony are the makers of PlayStation. Yes, I realize that the money is in the software and services, but at the same time, if you're a console gamer, you want consoles to do well, and for consoles to do well, they really need exclusive content. That goes with anything. No matter what industry you're in, you've got to have something exclusively to draw people in. You have people that will go shop for something that's exclusive. You'll have people that will watch a show that's exclusive to a platform. That's what makes all the difference in the world. So when Sony says stuff like this, you sort of scratch your head. Now listen, I get that a lot of people are going to say, well, crap gamer, don't you hate that Xbox games are on PC and multi-platform and things like that? Well, listen, I don't exactly like it, right? But there's not anything I can do about it. And they're upfront about how every game will end up on, PC day one. So you've come to sort of expect that. Now, when it comes to PlayStation, they sort of tiptoe around it, and then they make announcements like this, and you sort of go, well, that was maybe one of the few things that I think Sony had an advantage over as a console owner, was the fact that they aren't making games on multiple platforms, which allows them to make these great-looking games on their own platform. Right? Once you start doing stuff that's got to be on multiple consoles, I think that can lead to delays, and that can lead to problems. So Sony CEO actually was talking about Bungie, and he said that makes a major step forward in becoming more multi-platform. Very interesting. Sony CEO Kenshiro Yoshida has said the company's planned acquisition of Bungie is partly motivated by a desire for PlayStation to become more of a multi-platform business. While Sony Interactive Entertainment has traditionally focused on developing games for the PlayStation consoles, in recent years it has also begun investing heavily in PC and mobile gaming. Now, last year, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan confirmed that PlayStation would bring a whole slate of games to PC, and the company hired Apple Arcade's former content boss to lead a new business unit established to adapt its most popular franchises for mobile itself. Now, Sony in January said that it intends to purchase Halo and Destiny creator Bungie in a deal worth $3.6 billion. It is said at the time that Bungie will be an independent subsidiary, and that means they'll remain a multi-platform studio following the acquisition. This was something that I really kind of spoke up about when it happened, because as a gamer, when you see these things happen and these sales of these corporations and companies, you wonder how it's going to impact you as a gamer or a fan of that platform. And I don't look at that as being something that is negative or selfish, right? So I get that a lot of people go, well, the Activision deal, that's not going to get Microsoft any exclusives. No, I mean, it might get some exclusives long term over time, but I think that what it does most of all, it brings added value to Xbox Game Pass. You're going to be seeing Call of Duty, Overwatch 2, Diablo, all those games are going to be in Xbox Game Pass day one. So while they aren't going to be multi-platform, it still goes to help that platform, the Xbox, be looked at and more sought after and have more value with what they're doing with Game Pass. Now, speaking during a corporate strategy meeting on Wednesday, Sony's boss Yoshida said the company has high expectations for Bungie. He said, "We believe it will be a catalyst to enhance our live game service capabilities. Our acquisition of Bungie also represents a major step forward in becoming one multi-platform." Now, at the time of the deal's announcement, Bungie also said existing and future games currently in development will not be exclusive to PlayStation platforms following the acquisition. Now, whether or not Sony's multi-platform strategy will extend to the company releasing some first-party game on rival consoles like Xbox, that remains to be seen. Now, listen, here's the way I look at this, right? If you're focusing on games as a service games and live service games, the way that you can get these to be successful is to put them on multiple platforms. And I think that's something that we probably will see from time to time. Look, they're making more money than ever with MLB The Show by having it multi-platform. Having it on Xbox, having it on Switch, they're making more money that way. Now, what does that mean for PlayStation? Well, people are still buying PlayStation, right? It's highly sought after. It is. Will it slow things down? I don't know. But I think if you get into a weird territory, if you have every PlayStation game on PC and every Xbox game on PC, I think there's never been a time like that in the world of gaming, and you could see some people switch to PC gaming because, you know, it might be cheaper to build one than to buy an Xbox and a PlayStation. So that's a big problem. The other problem that I see would be the multiplayer aspect, where you take away from your console base and maybe they go to PC. And yes, you have crossplay, but crossplay is full of cheaters on the PC side. It's one of the reasons why Halo is failing on the PC side. It's one of the reasons why Gears of War failed on the PC side. People don't want to play on a console versus people on a PC. Crossplay between consoles, great. Crossplay with PC, not great. So we are looking at a situation where probably we will see stuff like Factions, their multiplayer games, and their service games launch day and date on PC, and quite possibly could even launch on Xbox. We'll see how that turns out. It was announced in January that Microsoft intends to purchase Activision Blizzard in an almost $70 billion deal that would give Xbox maker exclusive ownership of franchises like Call of Duty, Warcraft, Overwatch, Crash Bandicoot, and even Guitar Hero. But should the deal get approved, Microsoft has said it will continue to release Activision Blizzard games, including Call of Duty, for PlayStation, following the acquisition and beyond existing contractual agreements, and then it wants to make more of the publisher's games available to Nintendo players too. So again, the difference I think between this and what Sony are doing is, I believe Sony isn't going to put their stuff into their thing, their service day and date, whereas, you know, that's what Microsoft plans to do. So it's a little bit of a stark contrast between the two businesses and the two companies and what they plan on doing. And, you know, we'll have to see if that's going to work out well for Microsoft, if it's going to work out well for PlayStation. I do find it to be very interesting that, you know, what we're seeing right now is a huge change in what traditionally Sony would do. And I don't know how to really feel about that. Yes, I get that Microsoft does that, and I'm more of an Xbox fan. But one of the things that I really liked about PlayStation was their first party really seemed to take advantage of their content and their consoles. And, you know, I think that can't be overstated. You know, I feel like that's something that, you know, a lot of people don't realize because they're not. And listen, I'm not some huge tech person, but, you know, I've talked to enough developers and things like that to realize and understand that, you know, we see this situation where there could be issues with delays, there could be issues with all kinds of things when it comes to, you know, doing a game on multiple platforms. And that's something that I look at as unfortunate. And, you know, listen, there were rumors that a lot of the whole cross-platform stuff and crossplay was a big issue even back when Lionhead was trying to do you know, the Fable Legends game, right? They were having problems making that crossplay work, and also, you know, once they started putting a lot of the other games on PC day one, they were having problems making those games work, and that's unfortunate, to be honest with you. And to my surprise, I think that it's just one of the things that Microsoft has kind of adapted to, but it doesn't mean for me personally that I look at things and go, you know, listen, Microsoft has done a good job and they've kind of got this stuff down to a science, whereas Sony, it's new to them, and you just sort of worry about this kind of stuff in the long run. And I do hope that we get to see a situation where Microsoft and Sony are, I don't want to say more focused on the console player, but I'm sure that there's a lot of people that are upset by this news from Sony themselves in terms of what they're going to be offering multi-platform wise. With that being said, I'm Crap Gamer. This has been Crap Gamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. If you took a minute out to watch this video, please leave a like on the video. It helps the video to be seen, and it helps the channel to grow. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Have a great day. Crap Gamer out.